Alright, what's good everyone? So today I'm going to be sharing how I signed my first 2 high ticket clients for my coaching business, all through Instagram, all through my personal brand, and pretty much while I was still going to college. I followed a simple process that helped me do exactly that, and it's very repeatable, and I think it's going to be very valuable for you if you take action on it and repeat the steps that I'm about to go over in this video today. So if you're serious about booking high ticket clients for your coaching business, and doing that through building your personal brand, building your reputation on Instagram, or maybe you don't have a coaching business, maybe you're just an entrepreneur who's eager to grow his personal brand in 2022, book in a call below and we'll see if we're a good fit. I'll see where you're at, where you want to be, and really what your goals are and what's stopping you from getting there. So book in a call below, it's completely free. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So we're gonna go on the whiteboard here, and essentially what I did to sign my first 2 high ticket clients was I focused on one platform. Well, actually that's a lie. I was actually doing Instagram and YouTube, and basically Instagram acted as the prospector, and I'll go over what this means in a second. So Instagram acted as the prospector, YouTube acted as I guess my mentor calls it, a long form trust builder. Because you see, the problem is with Instagram, it can be hard to build trust. So that's why you need, because videos don't really perform well. Like, they can perform well, but you're better off going to another platform like YouTube or starting a podcast to build that trust, to really let people hear your voice and just hear the value that you have to offer. And Instagram is like a nice personal touch. You can use it as a behind the scene kind of way of thinking about it. I use it as like a middle or bottom of funnel tool, and that's exactly how I signed my first 2 clients. Basically, the first one happened to come from Discord. We were in a mutual group, and he followed me on Instagram. Went through my content. So the key here is to already have valuable content on your profile so that they can like almost binge watch it. Already had valuable content. My profile was optimized, and profile optimization, if you're not familiar with it, it's basically making your profile up to par, having that nice profile pic, having that clear bio that states exactly what you can do for people, having a call to action, having story highlights, having stories up all the time, having posts, just the bare minimum. Okay, and 80% of Instagram users, they just skip right over that, and then they're going to be wondering why they're not getting the business that they want. Profile optimization, already had valuable content, and that was like a complete layup for me, because if he's being indoctrinated into all this, then all he has to do now is keep watching. They can either keep watching, build more trust, as I keep posting, as I post on my stories more, and then the trick here, this is how I got the first one, and he's actually got a client interview, so you know who that is. And then what happened was I posted a CTA, and if you don't know what that is, a CTA means call to action, because what I see, a mistake I see other creators make, other entrepreneurs make, is they're too scared to promote their offer. And you can't be scared, otherwise what happens is you'll be making content for a while, like a year and a half, and they won't know your intention. They think that's just your intention to spread free value, and then all of a sudden you come with this big offer and you start promoting it like crazy out of nowhere. That can turn off a lot of people, and that could shock them, and you don't want to do that. You want to set intentions right from the start. So I'd been setting the intention right from the start that I had something to sell, and that was my one-to-one coaching offer. And one day I made a call to action. I was like, I make these all the time. I was like, I'm looking for, your standard, I'm looking for 3 more serious entrepreneurs to, you know, 3 more entrepreneurs to grow their personal brand or grow their theme page in 90 days. And he just happened to slide up. He was like, yeah, I'm interested, because again, you need to have the previous steps before. You need to have valuable content. You need to make sure your profile is optimized, make sure you're consistent, make sure you're engaging with your community. All those like spices, those ingredients to the stew, you need to have them already for this to happen. You know, people will have to trust you enough for them to do this. So I made a call to action. He was like, yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll. Booked him on a call, and I can make a separate video about how to grow your coaching business on Instagram, and like how to set up things, you know, Calendly here and there, but we won't go on that today. Booked him on a call, hopped on the call, and bearing in mind, this has been my second ever sales call. It was my second ever one. And prior to this, I was absolutely terrified. I was terrified. I did not, for the longest time, I didn't want to take sales calls. I thought I could just close people through the DMs and have to avoid, you know, the discomfort of being on the phone with someone and trying to sell them. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Second ever one, closed him. Booked him on a call, did the sales process. Again, this warrants another separate video if you guys want it, but I want to keep this pretty on subject. Sales process, closed him. And if you don't know what high ticket is, high ticket basically means expensive or high end, and what you can class that is probably, let's just say, upwards of $1,000. So closed him, and that's how I did it. That's the first one. And he also, let's not neglect YouTube. He most likely was following the YouTube channel as well. And you know, the crazy part is, you don't have to be that good. Look back on my older YouTube videos and you'll cringe. Seriously, you'll cringe at the type of videos I was making where I had a really strong British accent. And I guess you could say I still have a British accent in me, but it was so strong. I literally went the other day with my friend and we looked back on some of my old YouTube videos and it was just cringy. It was funny to look back on. I don't regret it, but you don't even have to be that good. Okay, so if you're just starting out, make sure you have a YouTube channel, or make sure you have a podcast, or anything that builds trust, and I guarantee you over time it's gonna work out for you. So he most likely was watching the YouTube videos, following it, taking the advice and getting value from it. Let's make this a bit thicker. There we go, that's much nicer. Yeah, so YouTube, Instagram works very well together. Oops, there we go. Let's move this over. So that's the basis of it. Now the second client, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm not working with this client anymore because miscommunication. And we're still in good terms, you know, it was going well, and then I made a huge error on my part. I just wasn't listening to them during the sales process. So they thought that something was gonna happen. Like, they thought it was only gonna be 3 calls, not 3 months. I thought it was gonna be 3 months, and I clearly wasn't listening at the time. And things were going well, and then when, you know, I think he got charged a second payment, he didn't know why, because he already done 3 calls. So yeah, if you're gonna learn from me, make sure you're listening. Make sure you're listening to the client at all times. And don't just doesn't mean just don't talk, actually actively listen. Anyway, we're still in good terms, don't worry. But I just want to show you how I got them, because this will be valuable as well. I'd been doing this strategy. Shout out to Steve Meller, he made this up. It's called the, not 80-20, it's called the 10x2 strategy, where you essentially, it's like a form of cold outreach, but it isn't at the same time, where you're gonna engage with 10 accounts in your niche. Engage with 10 accounts in your niche, and so if you're like in the, let's say you're in the beauty niche, you're gonna engage with 10 beauty influencers or people who might be interested in beauty. You know, they've liked on beauty posts before. You go on the influencers page and then you go through their likes and comments, and those are people who are interested in beauty. So you get the point here. Engage with 10 and my English, man. Engage with 10 accounts in your niche or people who are interested in your niche. Right, and then the 2 comes in. I think that means leave 2 forms of engagement. Leave 2 forms of engagement. So that essentially means either a like and a comment, or a like and a save, etc. And you're not just doing this for a selfish reason. You want to actually make sure you're doing this so you're showing love. Show love to your community. Play the long game with this, okay? Be genuine about it. If you're gonna leave a comment, make sure it's not just a nice post, bro. People see right through that. So even I see right through that. So make sure if you're gonna comment something, make sure it's genuine. You make sure you genuinely like the post. Make sure it's not just some post that you hate, but then you're gonna leave a comment anyway, just because you want to grow your account. So yeah, that's the strategy I stuck to, and I did this for about, I want to say 3 to 4 times per day. You can do more, you can do less, depending on your schedule, but that's the basis of it. And shout out to Steve Meller. Look him up on Instagram. He's a GOAT for coming up with this strategy. It's so simple, but it's so effective. So effective, in fact, that's how I got my second client. Because what happened was, I did the strategy, and one of the accounts I liked, and was just like a target of the strategy. One of the accounts that I liked actually went to my profile, checked my stories, checked everything, and they liked it so much. Again, that's why you need the foundations that I mentioned earlier, or else stuff like this doesn't happen. This is the first time, it's the first time I'd ever booked a call from completely cold. Jesus Christ. Whew. This is the second time, first time I'd ever booked a cold call. Not cold call, but a call from cold. Basically, I liked one of the accounts. The accounts checked my profile out, and then they were like, yeah, great fit, I'll book a call in. Let's just put that in. They booked a call in straight away, or about like 1 to 2 hours after I engaged with them. And yeah, that's the magic of growing on Instagram properly. Not just growing on Instagram, just really setting the intention of building a cult following, a loyal following. And that doesn't always mean having like millions and millions or 100,000 followers, because there's a lot of profiles out there that have hundreds and thousands of followers, but they don't know what they're doing. They're like a headless chicken when it comes to actually making them engaged, making them true fans, and also getting them to pay you. There's so many examples you can look at, but I had about 500, probably less than that, like 400 followers when this happened. 400 followers. So don't tell me the excuse that I don't have enough followers. Yes, you do. Be happy with where you are right now, and still do the strategy. That's not an excuse. 400 followers, and this is how I signed both of my clients. So yeah, booked in the call. Did my usual sales process. This time they couldn't pay on the call, so we had to split it up in 2. And the lesson here is, you can stick to your boundaries, know your boundaries when you're doing these little sales calls, but stick to your boundaries when you're doing these sales calls. Like, answer the objections as to why they can't afford it, the common objections that you get. But this guy was very, very bought in, and he really wanted to get started, but he just couldn't do the payment on the call, so we had to split it up into 2, not lessons, 2 calls. First one, questioning and just sales process. Second one, where he paid me, which is pretty cool. Another high ticket client, started working together, and then just things didn't work out in the end, but that's fine. You live and you learn. I can just hit him up right now and we'd still be in good terms, which is pretty cool. So what are the action steps? What are the key takeaways? So you don't walk away from this video and be like, okay, Matt, that's great and all, but what do I actually do? And how do I make this work for my account? So action steps. Have the foundations first. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to be a bit of trial and error here and there. But you have to have the foundations first. What are those foundations? The foundations are: profile is optimized. Make sure you have valuable content that's catered towards one niche. Okay, we don't want to be a generalist. We don't want to target everyone and help everyone's problems. You want to solve one person's problems or one type of person's problems through your content and just be ruthlessly consistent about it. Like, post every day if you need to. That's another thing. Consistency. I'd say as well, mindset. So, e.g., not letting lack of followers be an excuse. Being patient, aggressively patient, being aggressively patient. That's a great quote that I heard. You want to be ruthless with your actions, but also know it's going to take time to build. So being aggressively patient, engaging with your community. It's another thing I nearly missed out. So engage with your community or followers or other people in your space. So influencers, build connections, genuine connections as well. Be authentic about this, and have those foundations sorted. Second thing I'd say you could be doing is have a long form, let's just call it a long form trust builder. And I had to learn this the hard way. I disagreed with it at first. I thought you should grow on Instagram, but the truth is, if you want to speed up the process, you're going to have another medium of content. So YouTube, podcasts are a great way to do this. YouTube's a great way to do this. I guess a blog, like I've never tried a blog, but that's another long form trust builder. You know, anything you can think of that builds trust and gets your followers to invest time, effort, and energy into you. That's key. The more you can get them to invest in you, the more likely it is that they're gonna buy your stuff and become diehard fans for you in the future, or even like on the same day. So have another long form trust builder. Highly recommend you do this. This is why I'm taking YouTube seriously again. And the last thing I'd say is to get good at sales. And this also goes for you product-based entrepreneurs out there. I know you don't have to hop on the phone. You can just sell like a t-shirt or whatever you have to sell. But I'd still recommend learning sales and getting really obsessive about it, because that could still help you kind of know how to position your brand, position your product. But this goes for, I feel like the service-based people are gonna agree with me more. Not agree, but like resonate with me more. Get good at sales, get a mentor if you have to. Read books, but most importantly, make sure you're actually going out there and getting on the phone and selling to people. Okay, I could read all the books in the world, I could watch all the YouTube videos on learning how to swim, but if I don't go to my swimming pool and don't, you know, if I don't go to my swimming pool and start swimming, then I'm never gonna get good at it, no matter how much reading and mentorships or courses that I take. Without actually getting in the water and, you know, even like risking your life. Obviously be sensible about it, but even risking my life and learning it hands-on, you're never gonna get good at it. So same thing goes for sales. Get a mentor, but most importantly, go out there and do it. You know, there's a quote that says, if you're scared about it, there's a quote that's everything that you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. So if all it takes to get everything you wanted, if all it takes to hit your first 10K month, if all it takes is hopping on a couple sales calls and getting practice and even getting rejected and learning how to answer objections, then I'll take that deal any day of the week. So yeah, you're allowed to be scared. Allowed to be scared and feel however you want to feel. Maybe you're excited. Maybe you've been doing sales for a while, so this won't apply to you. But you're gonna do it anyway. So yeah, 3 action steps. Have the foundations first before you do anything else. Have a long form trust builder, something that gets them to invest plenty of time and emotional energy into you and your way of living, basically through your content. And get really good at sales. Don't underestimate the power of sales, because sales is the one skill where if you learn it and you master it, you're never gonna go broke ever again. Okay, so if you lost it all and you know how to sell, you can make that money right back. And then a recap on how I got the first 2 clients, looking to get more. Basically, first one, met through Discord, connected through Instagram, went through my content, went through YouTube, Instagram, invested that time, and then I made a call to action on my story one day, so he knew what the next step was if he was just watching the content all the time. Booked in a call, did my sales process, and then closed him, and then getting them results. And then the second one came pretty much cold, doing the engagement strategy. Again, this is not mine, this is someone else's, but I recommend you try it anyway. Did that, saw my content, saw my profile, wanted to book a call, saw it was a good fit, and we went forward. So that's it for the video today. I hope you got a lot of value out of this. I try and make sure these are as valuable as possible and even like as entertaining as possible. So if you did, leave a like down below, leave a comment down below what you thought, subscribe if you're new to the channel. And again, if you're serious about growing this year, you're done with making excuses, you're done about making excuses about, I'm gonna put myself out there, I'm gonna start posting. No, now's the perfect time. Now is the time to get ahead before it's too late. So booking a call down below, and it's called a clarity call. So we'll get very clear on where you need to go, where you are right now, and what your problems are that are stopping you from getting there. If you don't want to do that, follow me on Instagram at the Matt Jacob, and that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.